Alright, welcome back to Tempest Rush. This is the second part of a one-shot that we will be finishing tonight, I really hope. Where we left off, I'm going to read something in a moment, but before I do, please like and subscribe if you're watching this video, and check out the Heroes and Hardships Quick Start Guide that is linked below. Today I have Raz, Slip, Aki, and Emma with me. Playing the characters from left to right, and I will read where we are. Prince Gensric the Younger led retainers of House Tempest to the Great Redwater Keep for his coming-of-age ritual. He must pass the tests of the cloister to ensure he will take the seat of House Tempest when the time comes. Through violent electrical storms and the darkest pits of the Redworms they traveled. Finally reaching the hallowed citadel, they set out to finish their task. Inside, they found the massive keep almost abandoned except for a lonely serving girl, Julie. Julie explained her dilemma and that she was hostage here and wished to flee. She asked Prince Gensric to take her away, but he was not swayed. Meanwhile, a voice of the cloister, Questistor Invictus, pronounced the tests were about to be administered for Gensric. The serving girl had departed, and the harrowing scream alerted Gensric to his first test. With his companions in tow, they marched towards their destiny. Okay. Can everyone see?
It does. I can see like just our guys.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. I do see a name right here though.
That's interesting. Why is
and
that?
Just a little line here of stuff.
Huh.
It's
I'm confused why that is. What is blocking you? There's nothing there to block you.
There's a black square just above us.
Yeah, I see it. I don't understand why. Hold on.
I attack the darkness.
Yes. Okay, let's turn that off. There we go. Hold on.
Oh my.
Put it back on.
No, it's all off.
Yeah, it's all off now. There we go.
Better.
I didn't look, so.
There you go. That's fine.
All I
Okay.
thought was this, so that's fine.
Oh my goodness.
Many boys.
All right. You walk down the hall, and it opens up into a large chamber that heads to a great stairway. At the top, you see vaguely the serving girl with her back pressed against the wall, and all these death wardens who you had faced close to the cloister in the deep of the Redworms, all around you. To reach her and the end of the hallway, you will have to make your way through them. They don't appear to be hostile just yet. They wield various weapons, laser pistols, laser rifles, power swords, etc. But to get to her, you will need to make your way through them. And I will let you go ahead and roleplay how you react as you see this before you.
And to clarify that these are the same as in the mountain you had fought?
They're the same kinds of things, yeah.
Interesting.
I imagine these are probably slightly less beat up and poorly kept. Or are they?
I mean, they're pretty beat up.
Shall I try to assess some hint as to the best path forward, Prince Gensric?
Prince Gensric kind of looks at the massive crowd of these death wardens and sees Julie up towards the top in the back. Looks to either side and tries to assess the path himself. Turns to Sintram. I imagine that would be wise. This certainly does seem dangerous.
Right, she's gonna try to do the... Oh, it's been a bit...
Reflexive future.
Yes, reflexive future. So, what will I roll for?
Just roll the spell. If you want to... Oh, your next skill roll. Yeah, so it'd be a investigation. So it depends on how many benefits you want, how hard it is, right?
Okay.
Or out of combat is actually vague information about the future. It's not even a skill roll, really. So
Right.
it would be, I mean, if you want vague, general, specific, detailed. So you get vague automatically. General would be level 1, specific would be level 2, and detailed would be level...
Let's go for specific.
Okay. So it's a level 2.
Do it. Blow us all up.
Yeah, but what do I roll? Is that on the combat menu?
This is a Psyche spell, so it would be Psyche under Senses. It probably isn't under your combat menu. So just roll it from your sheet.
Yeah, well, okay. I just don't know where it is on the sheet other than Psyche.
Senses. Psyche.
Okay, just the
click,
Psyche.
Just click
Yeah,
Psyche.
just straight Psyche.
Okay. Oh, I need to do this again. Boy, it's been a bit. So for benefits, do I put 2, or what do I?
No, not out of.
Just a straight up roll. Okay.
Okay, go ahead and roll 2d10. Exploding. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. You can see the way through for certain. What are you trying to look for exactly?
Her first thought is that perhaps some of these are activated to attack and others aren't, or some are more sensitive than others, but I guess she's trying to see, if they need to weave around certain ones, or if there's something else at work here, something that will provoke them.
More you believe that it's more a test of courage, and that you're not sure if any of them will attack or not, but just being in this room as you would pass through them is going to be a harrowing experience with the aura of fear these things have.
God. She looks forward, and there is no path other than straight ahead. Hold tight to your courage, Prince Gensric, and know that we have your back, for I think this is what is at the core of this test. Do you have the backbone to face down the terror that these creatures emanate?
A trial of will, then.
Indeed.
He kind of looks forward to the crowd of these things once more. A small bead of sweat dripping down his head as he wipes his hair back. The heat of the place still kind of getting at him. And turns to her. Very well. I have always and will always trust you, Sintra. Magnus, Milna, either side. Sintra, behind, if you will.
She hesitates for just a moment before acceding to his request and goes behind him.
Milna looks
As you
towards
command.
him. Yeah, Milna looks towards him and nods. Stay close, Prince.
Of course. But this is my trial. Please do allow me to take first. And he begins to simply walk forward, steeling himself.
Okay. So this
Keep
is
his hand
a...
on
go ahead.
No, yeah, he just keeps his hand on the hilt of his blade, ready to react if necessary, but does not draw it.
Yep. So this is an environmental effect. It's a persistent effect. I would like everybody to make a courage roll. Courage is under willpower. if you want to do it from your sheet or your macro, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I gotta get that. You said it was mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
Large. Oh my. Citra is so courageous.
Oh.
No.
Oh no!
Oh, Magnus. he's gonna get twitchy.
You have a -3 on there for some reason, which you shouldn't. Oh, you have an injury. So it's really a 7.
Oh,
Okay. So let me write these down. 21, 47, and 28. Alright.
Says when making
Oh,
a
yeah,
courage
minus
check,
3 as well.
add your fortitude skill ranks to the roll as a pre-roll modifier.
Oh,
For
okay.
him.
Alright. What is your fortitude?
Yes.
It's in under
Fortitude,
willpower as well.
Fortitude.
yeah, I have a -3 as well. I don't know.
If you have it's,
1. It's 1.
okay.
But
Yeah,
you
I
know.
have an injury.
you have an injury as
Yeah.
well. So let me bump you up. What was yours? Yours was 28, so it's really 31.
Sure.
Magnus is 8. Okay. All right. So now I roll the fear effect. It's a fear 3. 17. So as a persistent effect, I will roll it 3 times, and you can re-roll your courage each time if you want. If you spend a fate point. So here's 21. Who was that? That was Melina. So that one, you're good on that. 40, you're good. 8. What is your mental defense? Because that is going to add. Let's see. Magnus. Mental defense is 8, so you're actually at 16 versus 17. It's still okay. You're going to be hit by that. Nobody else. Okay, so let's see. So a
Yeah, I
third.
think Gensric's pretty safe with 18.
Yeah, you're fine. So okay, the way this works is environmental effects. You take the difference of the roll, which is a 1 in this case, and then you add the post-roll damage, which is for a fear 3 effect, which is a 12. So you take 13. So you're going to take, actually, what I'll do now is I take the 13 and I compare it to your terror level, which is a 10. So 13 is higher than a 10, so you're going to actually take a wound, a mental wound. So I'll mark that down for you. Mental wound.
Got it.
So
Magnus would have preferred to maybe just mow them all down.
I mean, you can do that. You can try that.
No, the prince said not to.
Is there any way I could... I have leadership 3. Is there any way I could use leadership to kind of steal his morale somehow?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Just making sure.
So how does it look as you get through the first part of these things for each of you?
Well, I suppose with Gensric leading the way, he is, of course... I mean, these things are horrific, but he is here to achieve something that requires courage in the face of even the most horrific things he could face. And as far as he's concerned, personally, the random strikes of lightning are far more concerning than possibly just a simple test of will, if it truly is as Sintra says. And his confidence in her, his followers, and the favor he has curried with those that believe in him, in his mind, is worth more. Something that makes him need to press forward, whether he's afraid or not. And he simply does. He walks forward deftly, stepping between them, dipping and weaving through them as he heads towards Julie.
Presence so seldom has power to break Sintra's nerves. It just perhaps doesn't feel as real to her as to others, or as important as what she sees in the future. And so I think that that terror that these things emanate sort of flows over her like water off a duck's back. But she does keep an eye on the others, making sure they don't falter.
Milna is walking closely to the prince, but still allowing him to lead. She's very cautiously watching all of these creatures as they stand still, as the four of them begin to move through them. She's nervous, however, she's steeled herself and is making sure none of them try to move quickly or anything. Her hand is on her lightsaber, just ready to react at a moment's notice. But as she's cautiously looking out for everything, she does notice Magnus seeming a little bit nervous and unnerved. And so she quietly says to him, "Steel yourself, Magnus. You can get through this."
Yeah, I can. Few blasts from my fire breather. Magnus is sort of at the 7 o'clock position from Gensric, as Gensric had commanded, but instead of walking as leisurely forward, he sort of does like a side shuffle, sort of walking sideways. You can hear, if you listen to it, you can hear from the electricity that he's charged through his weapon, essentially ready to fire at any minute, and he sort of like sweeps it back and forth from one Death Warden to the next and to the next and then back to one, sort of looking sort of hastily back. His head is much more on a swivel than anybody else's, sort of looking for them to make a move that will inevitably either spell their or our doom.
Can you give me a 5d10 roll? This is your actual wound effect.
I win.
Oh
You do.
my.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You want to roll high on those. So
I didn't know, so I don't know.
Okay, none exploded. So that's good. Perfect. Yeah, so you're able to fight off the panic of it as you walk forward, for now at least. But eventually you get in the middle of all these things, and you're going to need to decide what to do. So everyone can spend a fate point to re-roll their original courage roll, or you can stand pat. It's up to you. Before I roll again.
Cintra's gonna keep hers.
Yeah.
Can you spend fate to allow someone else to reroll theirs, or does it
Nope.
have to be yours?
It has to be yours.
I'll save mine. I'm gonna
I've
keep
got
my
like mine.
21.
I've got 2 fate points, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I can roll that much better, right? I have a 3d10 to roll for this, and I only get to keep 2 of them.
What
I
did
mean,
you
did roll below at well
I
below
rolled 4 and a
average.
3. It was below average,
Wait,
and I
yeah.
have to do 3 of these rolls, right? Not just 1.
Well,
No,
two more.
you would just. I'm gonna roll 3 times. You would just roll once. But you do have to keep whatever it is. So if you want to stand with an 8, that's fine.
Sorry, but I'm assuming that we're not through this, right? We have to keep going through
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So it's a
Gothic-
persistent effect. So I'm gonna roll 3 times. You're gonna be subject to it 2 more times.
How bad is it to fail this?
Well, it depends on how bad your mental wounds are. Like last time, your mental wound wasn't that bad, and it didn't actually have an impact long term. It could potentially lower attributes. It could potentially lower skills, that sort of thing.
Anybody else who's played this a bit more? What's your recommendation? I got 2
I
fate points.
feel
I'm
like
fine
based
spending
on the odds, with a 4 and a 3, I mean, on 3 dice,
I would reroll.
that's pretty low.
Yeah,
So-
and your roll can explode if you hit a 10, so because you're trained.
Yeah, your average is always a little higher.
And I mean, if you rolled
sure.
lower, it wouldn't even be that much lower.
So I just lower fate to 1
Yep.
and then just reroll.
And I don't think it's a permanent fate. It's just one of your use fate.
Right, that's correct. So I can do it. Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
sorry.
Got it.
And
No,
that's
you're
just
cool.
to
so that
replace
one's
your
in there.
current one. And I mean,
Yep.
if it's bad enough, you can always try it one last time with your
Mhm.
extra point. So it's per
So that
session
was
point,
under
so I think-
mental. Courage roll. No benefit, no hardship. Training trained.
Oh,
Yeah, see, there you go.
There you
Perfect.
go.
24.
There you go.
Let's rewrite history.
So
And
you're
it has
able
a-
to
it has
steal
a plus
yourself for
1
now.
For fortitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, so 25. Okay, cool. All right, let me roll the second part of the fear. D10, boom. 22, that is not... Okay, so it gets the...
It might actually be one of them.
It's, yeah, but Milena, you add your mental defense too, so... Nope, that doesn't get anybody. So you're in the middle of these things. They're all around you, swarming you. They're not moving, actually, but their eyes are all following you, training on you. Their weapons look like they're pointing in your direction. But everybody is able to keep themselves together as they move through.
Yeah, Gensric remains somewhat quiet as he notices there's the building tension in Magnus. He kind of looks to him, gives him a small nod and a smile, despite the circumstances, as he almost bumps into one, actually, as he's not facing properly. You could swear you almost hear a very faint from him, as if to stifle a laugh of how stupid the fact that him trying to encourage someone else could have endangered them all, as he then very keenly pays attention on what's in front of him and walks forward.
Okay. I'm going to roll one more time for the last one, unless anybody wants to change their courage rolls, which I'm guessing not. So here we go. Yeah, so you're able to get through it to her without freaking out. Her face is drawn back in fear. Looking very, very afraid. Ah, you've come for me. I knew you would.
What exactly? I presume this is one of the trials.
I don't know. I went through there's a kitchen door this way, and when I came back, all these things were milling about from the two antechambers, and she kind of points in both directions with both hands, and there's two doors. And I was trapped this way, and I couldn't move.
Well then, allow us to escort you back to the door.
I can't go through there.
Then shall you stay here and wait for them?
Just... I don't know what to do. I can't go through there.
And Gensric actually kind of kneels down and places a hand on her shoulder, still keeping the left on the end of the hilt, on the very butt of his blade. Fear rules those that allow it. If you steel yourself, you can make it through. But I cannot do that for you. You are the one who has to make the decision to walk forward. Is there any kind of role I could make to try and encourage her?
I would, you could do, that would be a leadership test, I think. Sure.
Okay. Let's just press my button. Do I have any actual bunch of crazy shit? Let me double check. I don't have anything that boosts that. I don't think anything specifically for this. I get a bunch of useful stuff out of leadership, but I don't think for this specifically. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice I have a thing to resist bluffs and penetrate or mental shit. Any mental manipulation? Oh, that's useful. Very cool. I'm a tough-minded young lad.
Yeah, and Sintra doesn't say anything direct, but says, "Remember my vision, Prince." I didn't remember about my vision until
I don't think I did either.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to
I
note,
missed
because for the
that.
characters,
Yeah.
it's just been a few minutes.
Yep.
For us, it's been
Yeah,
longer,
yeah.
but the characters would remember that
Right.
we
Yeah,
were
for
warned
sure.
about her.
Yeah, and Gensric kind of he doesn't look away. He doesn't take his eyes off Julie as he leaves the hand there. And he tilts his head back just enough to show a smile towards Sintra, while keeping the other eye on Julie. Of course, Sintra. I do not forget easily.
She just nods and gives him a slight smile, having faith that he'll know how to handle this, or we'll figure it out.
Baby, I could walk with you if you took my hand.
Of course. And he stands and brushes his hands off on either knee and then reaches forward, offering it to her.
Yeah, she takes your hand. Give me one sec. Let me see what that is. Roll me. Roll me a 3d10, not exploding.
Cool. 20.
Okay. You are heading back through, and the four of you are pretty much handling it fine after coming through one way, realizing they're not going to attack you. It's still a bit unnerving, but you're pretty sure that nothing's going to happen. Julie, on the other hand, looks frantic. She accidentally, very barely, bumps one of the Death Wardens, and she kind of leaps into Prince Gensric and puts her arms around him. Help me, they're going to kill us all!
Gensric, you all see a somewhat soft but impatient smile begin to kind of grow on his face. You've all seen that slight irritation before when everything he does to kind of bolster someone, to kind of pull them up, still sometimes simply doesn't work. This is the sort of look he gives. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not quite pitying and not quite spiteful, but almost irritated. Very well then. Let me double check something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not a strong boy. I thought so. And he actually looks to Magnus. Magnus, if you would. And he motions to her.
What?
Of course, my lord.
What are you going to do?
He'll carry you there.
I'm a giant, so I'll walk over. I'll grab her by the hip, and I'll sling her over my shoulder.
She seems very taken aback by this, but doesn't resist. She probably weighs 110 pounds, right? So you're easily able to heft her up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And I'll tell her through my metallic voice and say, "Don't squirm, don't scream, don't roll off me. It would be very dangerous for you to fall into my
okay.
flamethrower. You understand?"
She just
Don't fall into my flame.
she's very quiet, as you can feel. You know, you can tell the heavy breathing is there, and not in a good way. She's like petrified, but you are able to lug her back.
Yeah,
To
just
the
make
main
sure it's the
room.
shoulder that doesn't have the two little spikes on it.
No, I
looked at the
fastened her
arm,
on
I was
them.
like, "Ooh, yeah."
Now you won't move.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gensric then gives a nod and a smile to Magnus, Sintra, and Milna. Julie, of course, not being able to see over the shoulder, as he then leads the way out again.
Yeah, you enter back.
So we're
in-
literally going back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so, unless we're going to the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to the kitchen, but or one of the two antechambers if you really wanted to. It's up to you.
This seems kind of like the core area, and
Mhm.
he's not super keen on the food here just yet anyway, until he's sure it's safe. Which, I mean, he could ascertain in the kitchen potentially, but there's no need necessarily at the moment.
Once you get back, she's like, okay, put me down, please, put me down.
My lord,
Of course.
there you go.
She gets down and kind of rubs her face. Oh, she's got sweat on her brow. Oh, thank you, I think.
Well,
And what happened?
What do you mean?
Are those creatures normally kept in this place?
I've never seen one of those creatures in my life.
Is she lying?
Go ahead and roll
Can I
detect.
tell?
Yeah, you can do detect lies.
I think everybody's watching her for this one. I mean, Gensric isn't too concerned, but
Oh, nice roll.
detect lies.
Okay.
That's not that. That's that. How empathic am I? I think I'm very empathic. Let's find out. Just gotta click it. Nope.
She's so pretty.
You don't think so? You
He's
don't.
more so annoyed by her at this point.
No, none of you guys think she's lying.
Yeah, Gensric kind of. You see him turn in thought for a moment. It is interesting.
As I said, we should leave this place, my lord.
Why? As you saw, they did us no harm.
They could come in here and kill every one of us if they wanted to, any time. Could they not? There were so many of them. There were dozens.
And they could have done so then.
There were 20 exactly, not even 2 dozen.
I did not count specifically.
That's why I am the centurion and you are the wench.
She seems flabbergasted by Magnus looking up at his very tall form. My lord,
I think what Magnus means to say is that there is no danger. If that is part of the trials, as I expect it was, then we have passed. Or perhaps not. Perhaps there is something unforeseen. But as far as we can tell, there is no danger at the moment, is there?
Very well, my lord. Will you keep me by your side and keep me safe, please?
As I said, that is up to you. He gives her a soft smile and a nod.
She kind of stands up and saddles over to you. I am afraid I won't be able to bring your protein. She looks back over to Magnus.
It is indeed a shame.
So, of course, if your keepers find your actions less than suitable, I have no place here to stop them from enacting whatever judgment they see fit.
Oh,
So, act as you will.
okay. She seems perturbed by that, but doesn't say much else.
Does she appear unarmed?
Oh yeah, she's completely unarmed as far as you can tell.
But she has like flowing robes that she could be hiding.
They're fairly,
under?
it would be very difficult. They're pretty tight-fitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your heritage, Julie?
Oh, I am just born of a woman. Nothing special.
What woman? What family?
Oh, I am not noble-born, miss.
From where?
From here.
This place?
Yes, my mother was the caretaker of this place as I am now.
And your father?
She looks to you and shrugs. It could be any one of many men, as is the life of a lowly servant here in these dark halls.
How long have you been here for these tests, Julie?
I have seen many tests. There are tests, every few months, I believe. Something like that. I don't keep over count. I can't remember the last one exactly. Months, perhaps?
If you have seen so many tests, you have survived them all so far, perhaps it would be best for you to simply stay in this room while we continue.
I must admit, I do not see why your... He hesitates as he's about to say owners, but then, your masters, I do not see why they would act against you so suddenly.
It is because I know what happened to the last people that were tested. They brought them to an altar and slaughtered them.
And did they fail?
I do not know the outcome of a test and what is failure and what is success, my lord. But obviously they did fail, or they would leave this place. But most do fail, my lord.
Well then, I'll have to simply do better.
She nods and... very well. I am just wary of this place.
Wariness is always wise, but be careful lest it turn into paranoia.
Yes, I suppose. She pulls her knees up to her chest as she sits next to you and looks down at the floor.
How many masters are here?
There are 3 voices of the cloister here, my lady.
And you the only servant?
Yes. Besides the ferryman that brings people in and out.
Well, it is... He looks up and around the room again. Quite an amazing place, I will say.
Why don't you tell us about these other voices and other tests you have observed?
I typically do not see the test, my lady, but the other voices of the cloister, besides Quesitor Invictus, which you have met, there is Proximo Glamoring. He is a wizard of some renown, I believe, as they all are. He is solemn in speech and action. I believe typically those who come here speak to him last. And then there is the insidious Blood Tongue. He is the one who carves the bodies on the altar.
And is that why you call him insidious?
Yes, why else? Is that not enough?
He shrugs. One cannot be sure. If there were more, something quite clear to go on, then it would give almost credence to your notion of danger.
Sacrificing people on an altar isn't danger, my lord?
Of course it is. But you do understand the purpose of this place, yes?
Not fully, I suppose.
My father sent me here, knowing full well that I could easily die just on the way. For the trials themselves, what would one expect but extreme danger?
But I did not know that, my lord. I am sorry. Your father is such... I don't know what the word would be.
And there's actually... You all kind of see this slight flash across his face as his brow knits. I would heed you to keep in mind the station of my father before you speak of him.
Oh, sorry, my lord. I meant no offense.
Very good.
You're speaking to her, and you hear this metallic kind of clack, clack, clack on the floor, and walking from one of the other entryways is a man with a golden mask with spikes protruding from the helm part and a huge collar above his head with a red flowing cloak behind him. On the ground, he holds a golden staff, which he uses, he puts it on the ground as he walks. You don't think that he needs it as a walking stick, the way he carries himself. He just stares over at you as you are all congregated.
Gensric, when he sees the man begin to approach, stands, takes a few steps towards him.
Milna steps behind the prince, but stays close, watching this new figure carefully to see what they do.
His voice is very quiet as he speaks, and holds no emotion really in it. Are you ready for your next test, Prince?
And Gensric gives a very slight bow. Of course, it is my honor.
Then follow me, he says, and walks to an adjoining room opposite of the long hallway that you had went down. It's more towards the exit of the building, and then there is a stairwell that he takes up if you are going to follow him.
Yep. Okay. Gensric, quiet and patient, just follows along after.
Julie keeps close to you and comes with you, almost. I don't know if you would be expecting that, but she definitely keeps close.
Like, arm's length?
Yeah, arm's
or
length.
like-
Arm's length,
Okay.
yeah.
He doesn't necessarily protest, but he is certainly keeping an eye on her. And I imagine the others, especially Milna, they'd probably have signals, simple hand signals to, use, and kind of give her the signal for keep watch, essentially.
Yeah, she'll step like one pace back just so she can have better vision on Julie, right next to you, and her hand is on her light lance, just ready to pounce if need be.
All right. Let me move you. As you get to the top of the stairs, Proximo just points through the opening and come and find me below again if you survive.
Very well. Would you deign to tell me what the trial I face is?
It is for another's voice to speak it.
Very well.
You head into the room. Let me get you all situated. You walk in this room and you notice that it's lit by candles everywhere. It's almost like a million small dots as if they were stars in an otherwise kind of dark room. They're giant, absolutely giant statues of stone around the room. And in the middle is what you can only think as an altar. There is a person or a corpse on the altar, and blood seeps off of it into pools around. And on the other side is a man hooded in red with strange yellow eyes and skulls as pauldrons and a wicked knife in his hand. He looks up and smiles a strange smile with pointed teeth and a bloody mouth. Welcome. Welcome, Prince of Tempest.
My greetings to you.
Are you ready to do what is needed?
I am. Though I, as always, would ask what it is that is needed.
Oh, you will know. You will know in time. He waves, kind of, you may come out, girl. And you see there's a woman that walks out from the around the altar. She has kind of silvery hair and deep blue eyes, carapace armor on, and a helmet at her side. You see blood on her hand and at her hip. She has a tattoo on her face of looks like an upside down hammer. And if you give me everybody can give me a lore roll.
Use the thing.
For a 3d10, that's surprising.
Yeah, nice.
Gensric's not
Couple
Must be a reason, you know.
sure. I don't know if I suppose he probably wouldn't know a ton about other houses necessarily.
Yeah.
If that might be.
Yeah, those who got a 21 or higher realize that is a tattoo usually by the royal houses of House Hammerhelm, which is one of the other royal houses in the Red Worms. No real contact to House Tempest so much, but she looks of an age that could be here for her trials as well, you figure. She grimaces as she kind of stands there.
Sintra will actually turn to Julie and say, I thought you said the last bloke who came here to be tried came months ago. This woman is from House Hammerhelm.
She backs away slightly and I'm sorry, and walks over towards the woman. I will help her. Mend her wounds? She's just totally non-committal about that answer.
Yeah, Gensric, upon seeing Hammerhelm, has an eyebrow raised, and then with Julie's response, the other one kind of goes up. My. Well then. He takes a few steps forward. I am Prince Gensric the Younger. It is my honor to meet you. And he gives a half bow to the lady before them.
She winces and nods and sees Julie come towards her. She gives her a slight smile. Can you guys give me a detect lies? Just so you guys know, detect lies is more than just it's like detect emotion, kind of.
Kind of like read body.
Yeah, I might change the name of the skill. I haven't decided.
Oh, you thinking you're doing like read person or something?
Yeah, because it falls on more stuff than just that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, not really.
Hey, 16 on one die.
It might.
Oh shit!
It shouldn't
yeah.
have been trained. It should be a 10.
Oh,
It should be a 10.
Okay.
still, I mean,
But yeah,
Still funny.
yeah.
it's a 10.
Yeah, it's you don't really understand exactly what's happening, but she doesn't look startled or anything. And as Julie gets closer, she says, you hear the girl look between Julie and Gensric. Prince Gensric, and Julie kind of walks over and just, she doesn't look, afraid or surprised that this woman's coming closer. But as she gets right next to her, Julie moves with preternatural speed and is suddenly behind the woman. Her hand elongates into these long, gnarled fingers that wrap around her throat, and she suddenly changes before your eyes and into this old hag-looking woman. She almost radiates this glow of green, and if somebody wants to give a lore check, they can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Seems like it's
Fucking
right up
Cintra knows
her
all.
alley. I mean, it seems right up her alley. so.
No. Yeah, of all the things Cinder might know, this seems
Magical
on point.
hag? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, she is a hag. I thought I smelled a hag. Foul seductress. Slayer Gensric.
Yeah. You come closer and I kill the girl. She looks at Bloodtongue, and Bloodtongue simply says, "She has passed her test. Her life is important, Prince, if you can save it."
That hag can kill with a touch.
Perhaps we bargain for her life then, Prince.
And what sort of bargain is it you wish to strike?
The only bargain that any of my kind wish. Ask the witch what I want.
Gensric casts an eye to Cintra.
She tries to remember what hags value the most. Yeah, she swallows and shakes her head, looks at Gensric. I'm afraid that all hags crave that which is frequently denied to them because of their hideous appearance, Prince. And she just kind of looks downward towards your groin.
She wants me to fuck her.
She kind of just tilts her head to one side and raises an eyebrow, nods. Can Cintra... She's going to try to use a little bit of her lore again. She
Yes,
just wants to make sure that him
Yeah, Gensric looks more
Watching
confused
her
than anything.
might hurt him. Like, she doesn't want him to... If she can kill with a touch, she's trying to remember.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good... What did you roll? 45? Oh, yeah. You get plenty, yeah. Hold on.
I'm gonna spend a minute, guys, just whispering for just a second.
Okay. Milna, while all that is figured out, whispers over to the prince. You cannot debase yourself like this. It is too far below you.
Gensric thinks for a moment. What is below me is of no concern. What is of concern is what is necessary to pass the trials.
Yes. Magnus steps up and says, yes. But if she fathers your child, would that not be a problem?
Now there is a valid point. Are you stepping up to plate, Magnus?
Of course, my lord.
And actually, Gensric was smiled almost jokingly, but when Magnus
Yeah,
says,
totally
"Of
deadpan."
course,"
Yeah, he's totally deadpan.
yeah, when the moment he says "of course," Gensric's face falls a bit. I do not know I would be pleased to ask that of you, Magnus.
There's no asking needed.
Your giant is correct. Your blood, your bloodline, it is part and parcel of being who you are. One must not only look to the present circumstance, but to the future.
Wise. I understand. And
You cannot let your bloodline birth some monstrosity upon this creature.
Milna is going to whisper to Sintra.
Mhm.
If... What is this woman's name? Hammerhelm?
Yeah, Kenleen Hammerhelm. I don't think you got her first name.
Okay. If this Hammerhelm woman has already passed her test, why would they have kept her here for months? She should have been allowed to leave long ago. Is there some way you can see if perhaps this is some sort of trick, like this hag was performing to look like a younger woman?
You know, it might be just all be an illusion. Sintra is just going to try to get a glimpse. I think she's probably aiming for 10 minutes into the future, 5 to 10 minutes in the future. You know, what's the big danger here, or what is it they're not seeing? Is this...
Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and cast the spell. Just
Okay.
just like on the altar over the corpse. Just...
that's pretty good. Yeah, so you would
Right.
I whispered to you. It's better that way.
And as she's kind of doing her thing, Prince Gensric looks towards the hag. And Julie, if that is what you still wish to be called. He kind of pauses to give her a chance to respond.
You can call me whatever you like, Princeling.
What exactly is it then you desire? Myself, or just the taste of a man?
You are my first choice, Prince.
You can roll you can make a persuasion roll to have her go with Magnus.
Oh, actually,
Or whatever you're trying to do.
Sintra whispers something to Milna.
Yeah, Prince Gensric, as they whisper, he hears something but pays little attention, giving them the time they need, presumably, to speak. Or debate whether they should stop Gensric if he were to go forward. But he looks to her. And is it the now that you are after, Julie? Are you in the present, or are you clever enough to think far ahead? He looks at her with a smile.
I think many years ahead when my progeny is born. One of many of my kind.
I can't get my whisper to work, so I'm just going to tell you. She just whispers to you that woman, she is very important to the future of our prince. We must not let harm come to her.
Milna sighs.
And
And
actually, Sintra starts to kind of inch her way kind of around, not so that much that she's, directly confronting the hag, but she's spreading them out, getting a little bit closer in the process.
No closer, witch.
She says, and you see her hand kind of tighten on Hammerhelm's throat, and her kind of gag.
Decide what you want. The blood of this giant flowing through your child, or to die, here and
Sintra,
now.
if you will. I have my own plans. Julie, if you think of the future and many progeny, then surely more than one would suit you, yes?
Yes, always.
Then how about this? I certainly intend to complete the trials and return home. And when I am Lord, I will bequeath unto you your own vatborn, to do with you as you please. Would this be agreeable to you?
How do I know you keep your word?
And he looks at her with a very serious face, and I believe I have a thing that lets me use status.
Yeah, authority. Yeah, you can use status.
Status instead of persuasion.
Mm-hmm. We got to be telling the truth, though.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely will.
Okay.
He'll bequeath her a fucking vatborn, yeah. He's got little need not to if it means saving Hammerhelm. And that saves both him and Magnus.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Which is much more important to him. And he looks her, of course, very serious, dead in the face. Because I am Prince Gensric the Younger, inheritor of House Tempest, and I do not go back on my word.
Let's see. She releases Hammerhelm and kind of pushes her forward, and she staggers and holds her side. And,
Fine. But I will
Thanks.
be in your lands watching you, Prince. And if you lie, then I will haunt your world forever.
And Gensric actually smiles and takes several steps forward and reaches a hand out towards the hag. And I think that could be a good thing. I look forward to our future endeavors, Julie.
she looks at the hand and then up at you and just and doesn't reach out. Instead, kind of, it's almost like a dog leaping away, and she kind of runs and on two legs, and then every once in a while goes down on four, intermixing the two as she kind of races away and into the darkness of this chamber somewhere.
My. He turns to Hammerhelm. I do hope you are all right.
I am
Lady
fine.
Hammerhelm, was it?
Yes, my name is Kenling. I would be better when I am being attended to by a physician.
Of course, I would imagine. Gensric then turns to Bloodtongue. And was that the trial? Or...
This was unexpected, to be sure. Not the trial, no. No.
Interesting.
No, you must do something else.
And he turns and kind of laughs. Kenling frowns, and I believe I know what it is. When I came here for my trials yesterday, I was set to face off against another noble house in combat.
And Gensric looks ever so slightly grim and looks to Bloodtongue. And is this the case?
Of course it is.
And he backs up, and you see this. There's this portcullis in the back that slowly creaks open, and you see 4 people walk out. I'm just gonna go to the other screen because it's easier to see.
Ba-ba-ba. I like the torture table. Or altar, I suppose.
Yeah, walking out is a tall, slender man This one right here. His name is Kentic. And you are not sure who he is necessarily. You guys can give a lore roll if you would like. His dress is clear. He's another royal noble. He has a Electra spear in hand, and you see on his wrist he has a disc shield. Those that get above a 21, you basically know that. From his crest, he's from a place called the Scales, a fairly minor house. He looks around and frowns. With him is a massive suit of armor approaching the size of Magnus. You're not sure if the person in it is that big or it's just the suit is that big. Then two normal, kind of what you would assume is foot troopers come out, and then a mutant of some kind with a long rifle and wings sprouted from its back. The man looks down from the stairs and shakes his head. I am Kentic Grayscale, and you are...
Prince Gensric the Younger of House Tempest. My honor to meet you. And he gives a bow.
He returns the bow. This is unfortunate that one must meet in such way for such a prize.
Indeed. But I cannot say it was not a potential thought in my mind as we approached. Although the hag would have seen us dissuaded from our path.
Well, will it be to the death then? Or to first blood?
I was just about to ask.
Blood Tongue says,
It's always to the death here, you fools. This is not a civilized duel. This is for the future of the kingdoms.
And is this a duel, or... And he kind of takes in the others. Juggernaut, the House Soldier, and Cyber Angel.
That is up for you to decide.
Kentic says, I will let you decide, but I never favor the death of the innocents if it can be prevented.
You are wise, then. It truly is a shame that events bring us to this place where we must face each other in such a way. Very well then, a duel.
What is everybody?
Citro will come up and kind of whisper to Gensric that Kenling Hammerhelm, she must live. She is part of your future.
Gensric pauses for a moment, considers it. Very well. He'll approach her with a smile. Lady Hammerhelm, if you would, perhaps our Sintra may be able to see to your wounds, at least somewhat. In the meanwhile...
Yes, of course.
He kind of helps her over towards Sintra, trying to stabilize her a bit.
Magnus will offer any of his weapons to Gensric, including he has 2 blinding grenades if you want one for close combat.
Yeah, Gensric kind of looks over it all and just check real quick. I don't think he's gonna... Yeah, he assesses Kentic. What does it look like he's equipped?
He's got, like I said, he's got a spear, Electro spear, and it looks like he has a disc shield on his wrist. So he's going to be a shield and spear type of guy.
Yeah, and Gensric will make sure as Magnus starts pulling out weapons and stuff, he will make sure he's positioned in a way that Kentic isn't able to see what
Oh,
Magnus is
100%.
doing him.
Yeah.
And he will,
Like that way or this way, or huddling.
Mm-hmm.
he will accept one of the grenades, shoving it into slightly. His clothes are pretty tight fitting, but he will slide out into his belt essentially around back.
It adds 6 AP to whoever's hit and 3 on adjoining hexes.
Milna will walk up to the two of you as you're doing this. Prince, you do not need to do this. Kings do not have to fight their own battles. They have armies for that sort of thing. Allow me to be your champion. You don't need to be putting yourself in danger like this.
I suppose I do not. But what I see before me is a noble who is concerned about the peace of his people, about the lives of the innocent. That is something I respect, Milna.
You would rather only one side gain peace? Whichever of you loses dies, and their territory will be brought to chaos.
Is that the term of this battle? Might it not be negotiated further? An honorable ally.
Bloodtug has said it must be to the death.
Yes, but Sintra does make a fine point. And Gensric takes a few steps away over towards Kentic. Kentic, if you will.
Of course.
I think we may see eye to eye on some things. I would like to make an offer. If I survive this, I will assist your house. And if I am to pass and you survive this, I would ask the same of you. A friendship through death, in a sense. Do you think this is agreeable?
It is agreeable to me, but our fathers rule our houses, not us.
But, should we survive here, we are the future, are we not? Whether they agree afterwards is something separate. It is the principle of the matter. And I will do my utmost to see that it is upheld in the event that I am the victor.
I believe I have no qualms with this. I have no qualms with you or your house. This is not your doing.
Are these your servants?
They are my house retainers, of course.
Is this guy just a machine, or is he a guy in a suit?
It's hard to say. You're not sure.
Is your juggernaut a living creature?
He is both living and machine.
And the cyber angel? I don't know. I mean, she would probably know, but it looks like a mutant of some
Yeah, it's
sort,
a
you
mutant,
said?
yeah. You're pretty sure that that is a living person, yeah.
Okay.
Why do you ask, Witch?
If there was a way to choose a champion where the one lost. Well, if it is truly a person, then perhaps that is not one you would sacrifice.
He looks confused. What are you saying?
I think she wishes to ask Bloodtongue whether or not we could have a champion fight on our behalf.
He looks bored. He's cleaning his nails with his knife, you see.
It is up for you to decide.
Well then. Gensric turns to Kentic. I quite hate to admit it, but for the sake of both of our houses, that may be wise.
If both of you live, with an agreed upon alliance, then that bodes well for both houses in the future. It is noble not to wish to sacrifice those that serve you, but as Milna stated, you are both the future.
We would fail our chance to inherit the house, but our positions would still be useful. I see what you mean.
I propose that you choose champions, my lord.
A question, my lord.
Yes?
What if the test is a matter of two houses meeting to fight a common goal, and the sacrifice is that man over there? As he points at Bloodtongue.
Well, I quite doubt that one, sadly.
Citra will try to feel that one out.
I mean, no, it feels like Kentic just walked in and says, "We have to fight each other." You know, like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's just gonna try to get a feel for it, how just catastrophic that would be.
Magnus is just trying to be clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gensric, you do notice he has an eyebrow raise, as you mentioned it. You've clearly piqued his interest, but...
Right? Could be
He's
another sort of
skeptical.
future.
I would think if it was just utterly catastrophic, that would be a pretty easy thing for Citra to feel out. There's some...
Yeah, the immediate future of if we just murder Blood.
You
Put him on a chopping
You
block.
don't feel that it would be particularly helpful to do that.
Okay. Cintra puts her hand on Magnus's shoulder and says, I concur with the sentiment, but I do not think that would help us to achieve our goals.
So be it.
Well then. Kentic, what is it you wish? A champion or a duel?
I am not afraid to duel, but our retainers are here to serve us, and through us they are strong. We only choose the strongest, do we not?
Indeed. And wisdom reigns above all, does it not?
It does. If you believe that this is the way, then I will not oppose it. I simply was told that this was my next test, as I am sure you were.
Indeed. I think we have our plan then.
I choose my Juggernaut as my champion, if this is what we will do.
Very well. If you will, a moment for me to conspire.
Yes, I do prefer the Oath of Blades instead of the Oath of Fire. And that would be, hand-to-hand versus...
Yeah.
Me-
Yeah, Gensric smiles, but he's indeed wise. He'll step over. Well then,
Seems best matched. What kind of skill would help you assess that?
Melna.
investigation, but you would know that Melna is the melee fighter of the group for sure.
She's really cool.
Gensric kind of takes the steps over towards them. So then, he looks to Milna. The look on his face, you don't see him conflicted all that often, but he is. What do you think, Milna?
On her face, you see a sureness that you recognize within her. This is what I was born for, Prince. Allow me to do this for you.
I'm not asking about willingness, Milna. I already know. I'm asking, what do you think of your odds?
My odds are good. Very good.
He smiles and places a hand on either shoulder, looking her deep into the eyes. Very well, then. I trust you, Milna. Fight well.
She nods and will kind of step forward towards the Juggernaut.
Gensric turns. It is decided then, Bloodtongue. A duel of champions. Milna versus Juggernaut.
Well then, let's see who dies.
Kentic waves towards the other one, other of his retainers. The Cyber Angel kind of flutters up in the air, and the two soldiers just step back. Juggernaut pulls a massive power hammer off its back, and through a modulated voice,
I am ready, Master.
Milna pulls out her light lance. I am ready as well.
and it just steps down here and waves for you to step forward. You can just like start here.
I'll just...
Yeah. I have no idea who's gonna win. This is gonna be.
I know.
These two are. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I did not expect this the way it would go as usual. Okay.
Gensric's very, very diplomatic, but he's also like painfully honorable deep down, even though he knows that's not necessarily the best in this case. But the chance of an alliance with another house, minor or not, is something valuable, whether he succeeds or fails. And he trusts Mila, so.
Alright, go ahead. Let's roll. Let me clear it first.
This is tense.
It'll be
You got
fine.
Alright, go ahead and roll it.
Wow.
Very good.
Wow.
It has the Hedwig flaw of dithers, so it's very slow.
Oh my
makes
god.
sense. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just huge, this hulking thing. It's moving really slow. Okay, let me do it this way, since this is the way we've been doing it, and I think it's been working well. You guys can tell me if you think otherwise, but...
No, I think it works perfect. Although I just had a really cool idea.
Mhm.
If you were to exceed initiative of everybody else by a certain magnitude, it would be kind of cool to have like a not quite an ambush, but essentially like one or
Maybe
two
an
free
ability
movement.
to do that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. An ability for that. Yeah,
Alright.
just an idea.
Yep, and that's a good idea. Just throw it in the Heroes and Hardships channel so I remember it.
I will. Yeah.
Okay.
So, does that mean the Juggernaut is easier to hit?
No, it just means he's slower.
Okay.
But he is actually easier to hit because he has that big ancestry trait, which lowers his base defense by 5, which is good for range. Doesn't matter too much about melee necessarily, but
I imagine it's mostly going to be a problem of getting through his armor. Okay, so is there a way to move one in attack, or
lunge.
do I just have to...
It's called lunge. You
Okay.
can move one in attack, -3 to your attack,
Alright, will lunge.
and lunge is 4.
Okay. Do I get one benefit for lunge?
You don't get any benefits for lunge. You might get benefits for other
Okay.
things. You have. Let me look at your abilities real quick.
It just had like one benefit already put in.
I believe that's for your Gen Mod 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All your Dex abilities get a benefit.
And it's already had additional mods 3. Should I just put that at 0?
Let me see. There's probably a reason. Yeah, I don't know why a 3 would be in there offhand. I don't see a reason why it would be.
Should I just do -3 then?
I just do 0.
Okay.
35.
Hey,
All right.
that's pretty good.
So it's gonna try to parry. So one thing I changed is unwieldy weapons take a penalty to parry regardless if you have strength for them or not.
Okay.
So he has a power hammer, unwieldy 4, so he takes 2 hardships to his parry, but he's got to try.
That makes sense. It's so cool watching all of this come together, like with H&H.
Alright.
Just seeing the progress.
Alright, 35 minus 17.
Ooh.
That's 18. 18 plus 14. 32. Okay, his armor, let's see.
The big question, yeah.
His armor's 50.
No, it's 8.
Well, it's not like my fucking guy for the other Stormbolter game.
No, he doesn't have impervious. So that's 30. Okay, let's see. So that's a wound, but not a death roll. Hit him in the torso, right? Okay, so he takes a wound. So how does it look as you hit him in the torso? Torso 30.
Yeah, so he beckons Milna over, and she kind of steps through the room to get where she was. And as the Juggernaut has its hammer out and says that it's ready, she just suddenly leaps forward, stabbing her light lance into its chest. Probably quicker than it expected, but then jumps back and prepares for whatever retaliation it has coming.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
I was gonna say, did you need to step forward? Because it does have reach, right?
Oh, does it?
It says it does. I just saw that.
It does.
Oh,
Yeah, so you would actually be back here. You wouldn't use lunge, so you'd be at 3. It's okay. Because if you would take a hardship from attacking too close.
I'd actually be at 2, wouldn't I? Because I have fast attack.
Yep, sure would.
For standard.
Sure would. Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
good
very
catch. The damage, you wouldn't have a -3 to your attack, but the damage, the 3 extra damage isn't enough to do anything. But now he has to lunge now, which is good for you.
Very nice.
So now he moves. Actually, you can make an opportunity attack as he has to get inside your reach.
Yes.
Ooh, I would love that.
Okay. Let me see.
Oh wait, wouldn't he get an injury from mortal as well?
Yes, he would.
Sick. I don't know how I didn't notice that, but I noticed reach at first.
Alright, let me... Yes, total 1 second. Okay, so 1 there. Okay. Okay, let me look at opportunity attack real quick.
Music is banging.
I'm just vibing over here.
So 2. So it makes it with 1 hardship. So you would keep 1 less die. You would keep not one of the 8s. So you'd be at 37. Okay, that's fine. So 37.
What's a head strike?
I don't know why it says +3 though. 34. So you're at 34 head strike. Okay. 34. When you're subject to opportunity attacks, you cannot use active defense. So it goes off his base defense, which is 3.
Oh fuck.
So he's at 31 minus 8. 20.
Are you gonna fucking off him before he gets a strike in?
23. Okay, 23. It's
It's a light lance.
that's enough to hit him again.
Fucking legit.
So he's got 2 injuries and plus 5. So
It's like she was designed for
yeah,
this.
no, it still doesn't do it any more
Right.
damage, but yeah. So that hits him again. So he is getting. So how does that look as he moves forward and you use the reach of your light lance to strike him in the head?
Yeah, so she had kind of stabbed him from where she was at before, and as he's beginning to move forward, probably picking up his huge hammer, to bring down on her, she quickly like stabs once more and just strikes him in the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so that would be... Okay, so that's opportunity attack is 2 for you, because that's a standard attack. He's doing the lunge, so that's going to put him at 5. And he's going to swing. Yeah, he reels back with this massive hammer and tries to hit. Oh no, he's hosed. He's
hurt as
hosed.
fuck.
Yeah, swings down, it hits the ground and crushes the stairs at your feet, but whiffs completely, and now you're up. But you're inside your reach, so if you attack, you're going to take a hardship.
Okay.
And if you back up, then you can get opportunity attacked, but you could say fuck it, but...
How about I'm gonna aim 1,
Yes.
so it just kind of offsets
Yes.
that hardship.
Clever.
Yep.
And then I'll attack.
Okay, so you'd be at 7. So give yourself 1 benefit for that, plus whatever benefits you have.
Would I still have that hardship though? So it
Yeah,
like cancels
yeah, no,
out the
they
benefit?
do not cancel each other out. No, because one is a one is an extra rolled and one is a one less kept. Yeah. They don't actually.
Okay.
It hurts, but it's. Oh my
Jesus
god!
Oh my god!
Fucking legend!
I mean, okay.
Wow, there's 4
What is that roll?
there.
Oh my god!
Also 12D?
I mean,
Dang.
he's not gonna. He can't defend really. I mean, he's got. he-
1 to the head and 2 to the
He'll
head.
have. He will roll less than 0. He'll get less than a 0 if he rolls, I think. So, that's 70. Let's see.
Fucking hell. Oh my god!
It's more than 70. It's actually 84. So that is more than double his wound or his mortality threshold of 40. So it kills him instantly. So how's it look?
Yeah, so he cracks his hammer into the stairs, and then slowly starts bringing it up. His injuries are plain to see for everyone as he's really beginning to struggle. Milna, seeing this opportunity before he's even able to bring his hammer fully up, simply like stabs him into the chest again, this time really putting like a lot of force into it rather than just stabbing like quick and trying to get out of there. She pushes him over onto the ground and blood starts kind of pulling out of the wound.
A mixture of blood and black metallic ichor, right? It just like it sparks and you hear ah, and it just falls over with a boom, a bang, and this power hammer goes flying.
Yeah, she pulls out her light lance and puts it away, looking down at the body. It was an honor. And then she'll start walking back and like will nod over to the prince.
Yeah, Gensric, you see his eyes are wide. I mean, he was obviously concerned. He was confident in Milna, but for it to be so one-sided was outside of his expectation. And he's kind of looking at her and he's like seeing her in a different light. He's like, oh my god, Milna. And he surprised looks to Kentic. Well, that was... something.
Yeah, he just she is a marvel.
Indeed she is. Well, my condolences, Kentic. But where there is dark, light follows.
It was an honorable death, what he would have wanted.
Indeed. I look forward to speaking to you in the future, Kentic.
Blood.
And he offers a hand.
Yeah,
over
he reaches across the table and gives you the, high handshake. And, men, let us go. And Blood Tongue goes,
Yes, leave this place, wretched filth.
I don't think that entertained him as he expected it to.
It was too quick.
Ah,
I imagine so. Certainly
well done, Milner.
Absolutely well done. Spectacular, even.
Thank you for allowing me to fight on your behalf, Prince. It was an honor.
And thank you.
Fuck. That guy had 18 post roll damage on his hammer if he hit.
Jesus Christ.
God, scary.
Yeah, because he's big and they do 1.5 times, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
He is to not let him
Yep.
hit you.
The reach was what it was all about. After that display, Blood Tongue's just like,
Nah. Well, then there's only one thing left. For you here, at least.
he goes over to the table and gets a cup and dips it in the blood here and sits it on the table.
Drink, Prince Gensric.
And Gensric looks to the blood. This is part of my trial.
Well, I just like to see you drink the blood.
Gensric. Yeah, Gensric assumed as much. And kind of looks at him and struggles back a small laugh himself. I think this place has an infectious madness to it. Out of respect to you and yours, Blood Tongue. And he will take one small swig of the blood.
Yeah, it's cold, congealed, thick. It's absolutely disgusting. Go ahead and make a stamina roll to keep it down.
Let's see. Can he do it? He's got balls of steel, but the body can only do so much.
This is a PL2 game, so you got to get 21. Yeah, you barf it back up. You spit it back out.
Ah, my, that is fire. I don't know how you could.
Oh, it's wonderful.
He takes the cup and takes a drink, drinks it all.
Go back downstairs. Take her with you. Proxima will want to see you for your last trial.
Very well. My thanks, Blood Tongue. And he'll head on down.
Yeah, you see him head over to Juggernaut and be like,
It's too much machine in these bones.
And Gensric will approach Kenling. Kenling, if you mind calling you as such.
Oh, it's my name, of course, Prince.
It is a pleasure to meet you, of course. Proper introductions this time. I am ashamed we must meet in such circumstances.
This is what we must do for our houses, of course, my lord.
Indeed, of course. But duty and this, such waste, in a sense, I feel are separate things.
Yes, well, you see, I have finished my trial, and I know what the last one is ahead for you, but I am bound by silence, and I do feel for you. It will not be as easy as what you have faced before.
Truly. Well, I would not expect you to break this silence,
I cannot.
but... of course. But I do thank you for your sympathy. It is valuable here, in such a dark place.
It is a terrible thing, my prince. Come, I will show you the way.
Are you going to be alright?
Perhaps. I was wounded. I could not strike a bargain with the house I faced. It was a melee, a terrible one, and a deadly one.
My. Such a shame. Such a waste. But you have come out of it stronger. I am confident of that. and the inheritor of your house. You've done well.
Yes.
Let us hope I do as well.
Yes, your Jin mod is strong.
Indeed she is. It is my honor to have her serve me.
She nods and kind of limps in this chamber over here. You guys you get there. It's a oops. This place appears to be just like completely covered with all these humongous statues. This one, you come into this huge room after walking for a bit, and you see this huge dragon, and on the middle of this pillar is this, burning brazier, and you guys can all stand around and do some role play before we move on.
Gensric kind of looks up at it, kind of as they're on the way in, saying kind of aloud, not to anyone in particular, my. And as I said, in the darkness light follows. I cannot help but feel awe when I see such reminders of the glorious past.
Sintra's looking around, trying to determine the nature of what's to follow. She's not terribly responsive to conversational efforts.
What do you believe this final challenge will be?
Well, I've seen my courage tested, my ability to lead, I suppose, in a sense, as far as that combat goes. I'm not sure. But what I am sure of is that I am ready.
Of course, my prince. We shall be here to protect you if need be.
And that, I know you can do quite well.
She does kind of like a half bow.
You see a form on the top of the first level of this pillar. It's so high up it's hard to even tell where he came from, but you think you spot some sort of opening there, and you see Quasitor Invictus, the first cloister voice of the cloister you had met, and he calls down, "Many do not progress this far. You are to be commended." His voice kind of echoes.
And Gensric calls out, "You have my gratitude. It is quite an honor to receive your praise."
Good. There is but one test left for you, Prince Gensric, and then you will inherit more than you could possibly imagine.
Very well. And shall I be informed of this one?
Of course, of course. This is the test of will. The test of mettle to make hard decisions. You as a leader will need to sacrifice much. So choose one of your retainers and spill their blood with your hand until it runs dry. This is your final test.
Gensric. You all see, he's of course a bit ahead, and his face is kind of masked by the shadow of the place, and he gives a very slow nod. My. And then comes the darkness once more, doesn't it? He doesn't turn for a moment. He seems to just stand there.
Does Sintra get any hints about whether this is as straightforward as it appears?
You think it is, yeah.
Yeah. Her eyes are glowing for quite a long time. They glow brighter and brighter. Her expression becomes more grim and her brows furrow. And finally, she turns and looks to the prince. I'm afraid there is no trick or way around this. 'Tis only a decision to be made. I know that any of us are willing to make that sacrifice.
I know that, Sintra. He still hasn't turned yet. Somehow, perhaps, your foresight is wearing on me. But somehow I knew it would be this. I just knew. And he turns. Faces all of you.
As you turn, Milna is already kneeling. I was prepared to give up my life for you already. Allow me to do you this one last thing.
Gensric does not look down at her, but looks straight forward towards Magnus. This is not a decision I make lightly, and I cannot make such a decision by heart alone. Magnus.
My lord?
You have served us well. You have served me well.
As a kin should.
And he looks down at the ground and sighs one last time and steps forward, drawing his blade. I believe it's a lightning rapier, yes. And towards Magnus, you were one of the best of us.
I
And you should
still
be
am.
remembered forever.
He puts his weapons down, sort of hands them over to Milna, etc. Maybe makes a point out of that specific prototype weapon, the flamethrower, that it doesn't get left behind.
Gensric looks to him. No matter what the condition outside, we will be bringing you back with us properly. I hope you know that.
I serve you in death as I did in life.
And he steps forward and actually wraps his left arm around him, and Magnus feels as the rapier enters from his left side as it moves pinpoint between the ribs and through his heart and out the other side.
He tries to make it as easy as possible, so he doesn't, sputter or scream or anything like that.
Go ahead and give me a fortitude roll. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he withdraws it pretty much as
Physical?
quickly as it went
it's
in,
in
so that you
willpower.
bleed out quickly.
Also, it's under mental.
Yes, it is.
There it is.
Yeah, it isn't the greatest death. You stab him through. There's some, as blood comes out of his mouth as you puncture a lung. not the prettiest way to go, as the huge giant falls and expires not as quickly as you might have liked. There's this.
I need to do one for Gensric just for me as well, just to
Yeah,
see.
go ahead.
He's got
Go
a
ahead
fucking
and do.
heart of steel.
Go ahead and.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't fucking flinch.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It's the coldest any of you have ever seen him. And just in, out with the blade in one quick movement to let him bleed quickly. He tries to make it fast, and yet the gurgle comes.
Yeah, Kenleen's eyes are down, like frowning. Remember what she had to do, something very similar. And as you're both waiting, there's this, and you see the bottom of the pillar opens in this. There's this huge opening, and you hear Invictus at the top. View what you have gained, Scion.
Yeah, Gensric eases Magnus's body down from kind of the hold he had on it to keep him upright as he died, essentially, and places him softly down, making sure the eyes are closed underneath whatever, visor and stuff he may have. And he breathes in another deep breath and releases another sigh, steeling himself one last time as he turns and walks in silence to face the inside.
Okay.
Sintra finds Milna's eyes signaling to follow Gensric, still suspicious that this may not really be over.
You walk across this large room, and finally you get into this very bright area. As you walk in, Melina, your memories come flooding back to earlier days, much earlier days. You see in many vats, more than are displayed, probably there's hundreds, and they're exact replicas of you. Everybody else notices this as well. You do see Proximo in the middle of the room waiting.
Yeah, Gensric is alarmed at the vastness of it as he takes them in. There's no hesitance whatsoever. He just seems surprised as he then continues forward toward Proximo Glamoring.
Milna, on the other hand, is pretty surprised. As she enters, she kind of realizes what these are, and memories flood back to her. She takes a step back in disbelief. She knows she's Vatborn, but it's so strange seeing so many of her. As she looks around, she simply whispers under her breath, "Should have been me. I am simply replaceable."
Yeah, Gensric. I mean, I imagine this is a pretty huge room, but it probably carries pretty easy. As he kind of stops walking for a moment and turns. Not fully, but turns just enough to look at Milna. No. These are not you. Keep that in mind, Milna. They are like you, but you are the one who stood through the test. All of the trials alongside me. And when Magnus flinched, you did not. In the trial of combat, you exceeded everyone's expectations. You are not someone I could sacrifice. And, to my chagrin, neither is Sintra. It left only Magnus.
She looks down briefly away from the other clones and nods. Thank you, my prince.
He gives her a very soft nod. And you see his hand go up towards his face, but whether he actually built up any tears is unclear as he proceeds towards Proximo Glamoring.
Proximo stands there. And you're surprised, but he actually takes a knee in front of you and looks up and says, "Now do you understand the truth of it all?"
Gensric looks around. He then looks to Kenling. And then he looks to Sintra. And his eyes linger on Sintra for a moment. Did you know?
Sintra shakes her head. I mean, does she understand, like, the significance of what Proximo's doing?
Well, he shouldn't be bowing to him. There's no doubt about that.
Gensric has an inkling of the only thing that could pretty much mean.
You know,
And the
you
fact
know
that
that
Kenling
fact.
was kept
Yeah,
here.
you know the fact that he was not Vat-born, which is odd. He was human-born to someone you really didn't know who was. You
Right.
doubted that. You had some suspicions that his father wasn't his father. I believe we
Right.
mentioned that, so I think you could probably put two and two together.
Sintra just looks at Prince Gensric and says, I serve your house, Prince. And in my eyes, you have always been the heir.
But this is no simple. And she, what you said earlier, and this, together, there's few conclusions I can reach, Sintra.
She looks at Proximo. I have only my suspicions. This is the man that has your answers.
And Gensric, he kind of looks down towards the ground for a moment. Closes his eyes for a second as if to breathe in and breathe out again. And he turns steeled again towards Proximo. Please explain. Although I believe I may understand.
Of course, my lord. You are the scion. You both are the scions, not of House Tempest and House Hammerhelm, but of the entire Redworms of House Invictus. You are the rightful heirs, now brought together. The line is pure at once, as it once was.
Sintra's eyes kind of shine with fulfilled hope as she looks at Prince Gensric.
Gensric looks towards Proximo. His eyes, not aglow, but similarly blazing. And now, he says, so where do we begin?
A union of brother and sister for a pure line of House Invictus, and to quell the upstart houses, and to rule once more, my king.
And you hear behind you like the clamoring of 100 voices, and as you kind of look back behind you, you see that there's hundreds of, I don't know, cultists, I don't know what you would call them, in the background, kind of all like chanting, House Invictus, House Invictus, House Invictus, over and over and over and over again.
And Gensric, all he can think of is the dragon. The moment he entered, the awe he felt. The skulls in the caverns before, the awe he felt. this yearning for something that he's never quite understood. This sense of loss of this amazing and ancient and glorious past, and all of the potential of it being renewed flashes through his mind. And he looks towards Proximo and nods. It shall be so. Glory to House Invictus.
And as you say that, the chants continue, and Proximo stands, and that is where we'll end it.
Ah!
Yeah, well, I'm curious as to what
Holy
Kimling
shit!
makes of that. Is she like, oh, wait, huh?
You know, he didn't even look at it.
Maybe she already knew.
No, she was definitely as surprised as you were, because had similar background and history and all that stuff. So
Oh my god, the fucking build up for all that was so good.
Nice.
Like him, just every time he saw all these ancient things, he was just entirely awestruck by them with this deep respect for what once was, and having this opportunity, he would never be able to give it up. Oh,
That's
that was
dope.
really good.
Now Milna can train all of her clones.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you
god,
got
yes.
family. You're a mommy.
Yeah.
mommy clone.
She'll be like head of security.
I feel so bad killing Magnus. But I was like, what would Gensric do? He would do the most practical thing. He can't get rid of Sintra. And after that,
Well, Magnus is blood on House Tempest's side, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not
so
even
you
related.
gotta get rid of
But he's not even related to you now. So
Yeah, I know.
it ended up working out, but I think it did entirely come down to the fact that Milna has been closer with him for one, but like he said, he wouldn't make it off of, just the heart. He had to be a ruler in this instance. He had to choose wisely, and that choice, after seeing the faltering of Magnus, the
And
eagerness
killing
for
Sintra's
bloodshed,
just dumb. She's too old
Yeah,
and knows
too
too much.
useful.
Yeah.
She's just too valuable with her potential.
I mean, you could have wrecked the whole thing and killed Kenling.
yeah, you could.
It's true. It's true. I could have really fucked it all.
But that's not what I meant.
I
That,
barely know
he's-
this woman.
He's just gonna settle for his sister in that regard.
time
Fucking
for some
hell.
incest.
Oh no!
Yay.
It all comes back full
Yeah.
circle.
Yay,
The
incest.
B&B way incest.
Yeah.
You've
right,
got
that's
some
fine.
vets here. You don't have to actually do it.
That's
Yeah.
true. You can make them. That is absolutely true. Vat-born children. That is the way.
And so, what's the significance of House Invictus?
They're like the
They used to be.
yeah, they
an
used to be
emperor.
the emperor of the lands, but they
They ruled all
yeah
houses.
their line died out.
Yeah, and Sintra knew that, well, she was pretty sure that your dad isn't your real dad.
I mean,
But
Gensric
a
had his
long
own
time ago,
suspicions as
she
well.
made up her mind that she was just going to kind of see how you turned out.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, because I think we
God,
we
yeah.
said that Sintra had been with at least your grandfather, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why he was like, "Did you know?" Because he reached that
She-
conclusion pretty quick. I mean, like he said, there was only so many conclusions to reach
Yeah,
when
yeah. She didn't know that you were House Invictus, but she also knew your dad didn't have any other offspring and that you were doing pretty good. No point in outing you now. Better keep things stable.
Holy crap, that was fucking awesome. So good.
If your dad had had another kid, she might have changed her mind. But he didn't.
Lucky me.
I'm
Holy
excited
crap.
to watch the actual Stormbolter game now,
hmm yeah, but
because I imagine it takes place after this.
it takes
right?
place in the timeline is kind of fuzzy, but it doesn't matter because it's so far away. It's not actually in the Red Worms. It's in a place across this huge salt pan called the
Okay.
Land of Black Thought, which is highly illegal to go there for unknown reasons. But essentially what happened is a legion of clones were sent over there, just kind of disposed and sent there and dropped off to survive.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
fun.
basically playing a humanoid monster that kills things with his bare hands.
Love it.
He's like he's like, I don't know how the fuck I ended up here, but someone made a mistake.
Yeah, and Ghost is playing a chaos wizard, so cast pretty much chaos spells. So
Yeah, my fucking, let's see, is that on here? Jadris Demon Hide, yeah. He's you can see the little fucking read of like his concept stuff, but he has a wound level of 20, a base defense of 30, and he has like
he has a base
I wanna
defense
say
of
like
30.
20 some armor.
Base defense.
Somehow, it seems. But then again, he has 5 strength, 5 agility, 4 dex. He rolled like fucking insane.
Yeah, the dex and the agility together with dodge could do it.
Yeah, and senses 5 as well. Because I swapped. Because originally agility was going to be, I think, a 3 or something, and like something else that just didn't make sense was going to be a 5, and it was like that. I might as well put it into the agility. To be frank, it makes no sense that it would go into any other things, because all the other things are fitting, you know, for like a legionnaire that just got dropped. And I was like, well, I guess he's just fucking stacked as all hell.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I really like.
yeah.
Yeah. I like
Sorry.
the flavor of the setting. It's like
Really
a
good.
little preview of Dune flavor to
Yeah,
me.
it's supposed to have a lot of Dune influence, obviously. Dune, Warhammer mix, kind of.
Yeah. kind of just a real fucked
Yeah,
up.
it's not good.
It's good. It's
Future.
really, well, yeah, it's not good. But
lot
it's
of
Very
clones, a lot of mutants. Yeah.
with some mysticism and stuff. So
Yeah, I
Would
like
the
it.
session have just kind of ended if I had lost that combat?
No. Well, I mean, I was more prepared for a group melee, obviously. And it wasn't easy. So I came up with how to build all the adversaries for people. So I have it all written, well, kind of bookmarked out. It's okay. So you want a PL2 minion, you want a PL2 normal adversary, and then obviously if you want like a nemesis, you just build a full character. But I came up with that. So Kentic was a full character. And then Juggernaut was just a PL2 adversary, and then so was the Cyber Angel, and then I had a House Assassin that also was. But then I ran them through the fear tests that you guys went through, because they had to do that too. And one person, the House Assassin, went insane and died. So I
Shit.
changed
Wow.
in a minion group for them. So. Yeah, so I don't know how it would have went. Yeah, if you would have
it's
died.
not super battle tough.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
Gemsric's
kinda glad.
pretty good with his sword, but I mean, it would have been a very hard fought battle. Very hard fought duel, I mean to say.
Yeah, he was
Potentially, depending on how good he was.
pretty
with his
good. Let me.
Yeah, he seemed confident, so
He did seem very
I
confident.
was like,
Gensric just didn't want to
"You
sacrifice
don't want
anyone.
you getting hurt, Prince." You don't
It's
have
thank
to.
thank Christ they thought of having him declare a champion, because he wasn't gonna. He didn't think Blood Tongue would, go for that.
Yeah, and his spear has stun 1 too, so every time it hit you, it would add 1 AP.
Whew.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
I like that power. That's awesome.
That's really cool. Yeah, because Gensric, let's see, I don't think he'd be able to even parry that.
Well, you
necessarily.
have so your
Hold
your
on.
rapier has like defense of 3 or something, right?
Yeah, let's see. I'll roll it real quick. It's just taking a second to load through.
So remember, defense of 3, you get
Today.
like 3 benefits.
Oh, it's 3
Mhm.
benefits.
Yeah,
Oh,
for every
fuck.
defensive.
Oh, so he'd be rolling like 10 drop 3. Or 10 drop 6, I guess. Yeah.
Dorath.
Fucking hell. Oh, And fucking Spear Boy over here, yeah, scary shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been expecting you to fight him, one-on-one
Yeah, that's
necessarily.
a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Yeah, Gensric isn't super aimed towards combat, obviously. I mean, he can...
He's got all the
that's the
social
thing,
things too, but
mental fucking strongbox as well.
yeah.
He got really, really hardy social stuff. But when it comes to actual combat, he's not the best. He's got a fucking iron will, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Although, of course, if that guy had come at him and gotten that hit in, he would have fucking killed him, so...
Maybe.
So it would have been bad.
Yeah.
It would have killed him or
Well,
nearly.
you guys made the
killed
right decision, right? Play it safe.
him.
Come up.
I did not expect Milda to
Oh,
fucking
no, I didn't
rinse
either.
that.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
I didn't either. It was Reach, really. I mean, Reach. Okay, so Reach, she hits him. He has to move to get to her, which provokes the opportunity attack. She takes it. She hits him. So she hits him twice before he even gets a swing off. And he's very easy.
I just
to
love-
hit.
Yeah.
I love picturing it cinematically where everybody's just like tense, like, oh, how's this gonna go? Like biting their knuckles, and she's like, stab.
And the
Yeah.
thrust through the fucking
Right.
armor,
And then-
and the thrust through the... I can just
then
imagine the helmet
whack.
like shattering its half of it, Like,
It's
holy
kind of like,
crap.
oh, that was kind of a letdown.
That
Fucking crazy.
was a lot better than the last duel I had in a game. So
How did... Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, so
Fucking
we'll see,
hell.
but I might put this adventure in the Stormbolter book. We'll see. But
that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. God, I felt so bad killing Magnus, though.
All right, y'all, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
Okay, night
See ya.
sleep.
Good night.
Happy Christmas
Rez, were you
Eve.
talking?